The 2007 film Ghost Rider is without question one of the worst comic book films I've ever seen. With awful acting, the action scenes not being noteworthy at all, and Nicolas Cage hamming it up as Johnny Blaze. This is a film that I quite frankly don't care for at all at the end of the day. Man, I have to say, as shitty as this comic book film is, there is some interesting parts of the film. That's not saying much because everything about this movie is just downright awful. You know, one thing that I don't understand, why they get Nicolas Cage of all people to play Johnny Blaze. Nothing against Nicolas Cage, he's an awesome actor. But he overdoes it in this movie. He's over the top. There's a scene where he does this thing with the mirror. It's ridiculous. You know, there are some retarded moments throughout this film. And they made this movie PG-13. Like, what the hell? With a character that sells his soul to Mephisto to be, you know, a demonic bounty hunter, then you think this film would have been rated R, but no, it's just a PG-13 film that really doesn't do a whole lot. Everybody in this film is pretty bad. Nicolas Cage, Eva Mendes, Wes Bentley. The only highlight I probably would say would be Sam Elliott, who plays another version of Ghost Rider. And I will have to say that when Johnny Blaze turns into Ghost Rider the first time, it's pretty cool to look at. Yeah, it looks interesting visually, but the rest of the film is just not worth mentioning at all because as hard as I tried to find any positives, there really aren't any. There's more negatives than anything. I mean, what did the writers think about doing this farce of a movie? Have they read Ghost Rider comic books? I'm not big on the character, but I know it should have been treated much better respect than this shitty product. Mark Steven Johnson, the director of this film, had directed Daredevil 3 years previously, so he was the wrong choice to do this film. And not just that though, the main story of this movie is Blackheart comes to Earth looking for the lost contract of Sam Fengasa. When he finds it, he becomes very powerful, so it's up to Johnny Blaze to try to stop him. In between the nearly 2-hour runtime that this film has, there's a lot of mishaps. There's a lot of moments that I don't really find funny. And I just can't understand why they got Nicolas Cage. This was the part in his career was he wasn't making great films like he did back in the 90s. But at least he tried to some degree, but it's to disaster results. I mean, they should make this film rated R, make it very dark. So if you would make a dark, gritty Ghost Rider, it probably would work. But, I guess they tried to keep that PG-13 rating. Newsflash. Some films deserve to be rated R, otherwise it'll destroy the source material the film's based on. If you've never seen this film, avoid this hot garbage movie at all costs. I'm giving this film a 4 out of 10. This is easily one of the worst comic book films that came out that year. In fact, 2007 was a terrible year for comic book films, but this movie is right up there. And not only that, it made Blackheart look like a American reject, with the black trench coat. Why they ain't make him look more like his comic book character? I mean, did they think it would be too much for this PG-13 movie? It doesn't matter. It's just, this movie's a waste of time. Even Mendez really didn't add nothing to the film. And then Sam Elliott's character, the caretaker, he uses his last powers as the old Ghost Rider to travel 500 miles. For what? Just for that? What an awful waste of a plot. Once again, this film isn't worth my time, and I really don't care about it. And that's my review of the film Ghost Rider. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this film. Do you agree this is one of the worst comic book films you've ever seen, or do you like this film in your own particular way? Alright, up next is my review of Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, a worser film than this movie here. Alright, this is Swung Guy 172 saying, peace out.